Concepts. The driving force behind what makes K-pop so popular and unique. The different ways in which groups can express meaning through outfits, videos, choreography, and so much more separates K-pop from other types of music. While K-pop is all categorized under the genre of pop music, many groups have different sounds with different messages. Regardless of your musical or stylistic preferences, you can probably find a K-pop group that you would enjoy because of how diverse the genre is. Yet one group has stood against the test of time in exploring the conceptual diversity of K-pop: Red Velvet. One thing that initially interested people about the group beyond their concept is their powerhouse as a vocal group. When they debuted Wendy as the main vocalist, serving incredible vocals only at debut, they began to turn heads. The company which Red Velvet is under, SM Entertainment, essentially created the prototype of SM music performance, a genre of professionally trained artists who can sing live while dancing effortlessly. And while Red Velvet isn't known for their intense dance, their choreographies still fit in perfectly with their concept, and they deliver flawless vocals during almost every performance. But what ultimately has made them stand out in the industry is their diverse two-sided group concept of Red and Velvet, but more on the definition of those sides later. First, I want to provide a little background on what concepts are generally portrayed as in South Korean girl groups. K-pop girl group concepts are normally divided into two categories: girl crush, think Kill This Love by Blackpink, or cute concepts, think What Is Love by Twice. Most groups tend to pick one side of the cute or badass spectrum and stick with it, because switching sides between concepts that are so diametrically opposed is not as easy as it looks. It's not just a matter of changing clothes. It's a complete reconstruction of idols' attitudes and public images, in an industry that thrives on parasocial relationships and the familiarity that's built between the members of a group and their fans. To remain connected with fans and stay consistent, groups tend to continue to stay within the same bubble of their concept. Otherwise, they can face criticism for their change out of a dislike. For example, Weekly was heavily criticized for their shift to a darker concept with Vampira, especially after the huge popularity of their more cute song After School. But not all of these changes are incredibly negatively received. Twice had a very smooth transition to a more mature concept with Fancy after moving away from their cuter tracks. But unlike groups that have made a concept shift and are stuck with that new concept, Red Velvet has not changed their concept just once. Instead, they constantly interchange between their Red and Velvet sides. But what exactly is meant by the Red and Velvet song concepts? Well, Red comebacks are brighter, poppier, and filled with experimental and bubblegum pop. They fall closer to a cute concept, but they still don't exactly reflect traditional cute songs. On the other hand, Velvet comebacks are darker, more mature, and focus on more of an R&B, slower style sound. Yet the true genius of this concept can be missed easily at first. The two sides remain connected. While on the surface, the two concepts look completely distinct, they share much more than they let on. Red songs are cheery and bright, but they always have an undertone of unease, like you're 1 minute away from turning your back on Yeri discussing grapes and red flavor to discover a murder scene. And that sense of something's not right here is brought to center stage in the Velvet comebacks, making the two concepts the two sides of the same coin they were always meant to be. But now that we have an understanding of what these two sides of Red Velvet's song concepts are, what are we going to explore in this video? Well, in this video, I intend to show how Red Velvet uses their songs and music videos to create a consistent dual-sided group concept, and how they also have used it to implicate deeper social messages. For simplicity's sake, I will only be going over the title track Korean comebacks of the group. This means that solo tracks, singles, Japanese tracks, and non-main title tracks like Automatic will not be included. Also, I will only be discussing further external social messages on songs where they are more explicit to avoid abstract tangents. These tracks, for the purpose of this video essay, include Be Natural, Dum Dum, One of These Nights, and Bad Boy. But finally, introduction aside, let's get specifically into an analysis of Red Velvet's comebacks. Red Velvet began their musical journey with their debut track Happiness. This song, quite obviously, with its unapologetically early 2000s bright sound and vivid dyed hair of the members, falls onto the red side of the spectrum. And while this track can very easily be looked over due to how bright it seems, a dive further into the lyrics and video reveals some of its more mature traits that allow it to intertwine with the Velvet side. After having a pre-chorus which seems incredibly bright and cheery, the chorus delves a little into some more heavy themes about what happiness in adulthood really means. While almost the entire rest of the song has super positive lyrics, the audience is still left pondering at this point about the possibility of happiness in adulthood. Happiness is only ever framed in the lyrics as something that children have. On the contrary, the adults are always described as power-hungry, fighting, or depressed. Moreover, the part in the video with the mirrors on top of different members' bodies furthers the question of if the members are truly happy. While the lyrics say, that directly contradicts with the members' faces being on bodies that are not their own. How can they be happy as themselves while they are being shown on someone else's body? This dual-sided message of happiness, but also the possible insincerity of it, makes the song multi-dimensional and a great addition to Red Velvet's discography. Be Natural, although a remake of SES's original song, really embodies what the Velvet side of Red Velvet represents. The members' sleek suits paired with elegant heels create a graceful allure that draws you in with their sultry vocals. The smooth instrumental and subtly sexy choreography further adds to this environment. Yet this song still continues the theme of an underlying amount of questioning of reality and the kind of creepiness that Red Velvet is known for. Is the person which the members are singing to real, or is it someone that they see in a dream? Or perhaps is it just themselves looking into the mirror and seeing their eyes reflect back at them? All of these are questions that may come into the listener's mind as they listen to what, at first, seems like a traditional seductive love song. One thing I think that is also essential to this song in particular is how it defies traditional gender norms in K-pop. In a time where pretty much every girl group was sporting cute songs with skirts and dresses, Red Velvet showed up to Music Bank in suits with a mature song, defying ultimately what a girl group can represent concept-wise. This song not only further extends Red Velvet's group concept, but also the idea of what girl group concepts in general can be. With the official debut of Red Velvet's fifth member Yeri, Ice Cream Cake is where I believe that the cute but creepy idea that comes along with Red Velvet was really solidified. With increased budget available past the group's debut, SM Entertainment invested a lot more into the production of the song, which you can easily tell by comparing previous music videos. Much like Happiness, Ice Cream Cake's lyrics are pretty positive, describing the sweet ice cream cake that the members taste when they kiss their lover. The song is gentle yet energetic sounding, really selling the audience on the playful story that the lyrics tell. However, as the music video progresses, we get a lot more shots that reflect that something may be off in this story. All of these shots have a sort of ominous feel to them, especially when directly contrasted with the videos of members smiling and having fun with one another that separate them in the timeline. The occasional usage of these videos makes the viewer uneasy, wondering why something seems off about this perfect love story that is being shown. Furthermore, the trailer for Ice Cream Cake exemplifies the creepy feeling of this cute song through the music box-like instrumental and empty-sounding la-la-las. As many people in the comments point out, both of these sound incredibly eerie to the listener's ear, probably because of their prevalence in horror films. The unsettling camera shots and ominous musical elements make this song more nuanced between the grounds of Velvet and Red, even with its more cute concept. Dum Dum, compared to its more cute and innocent red counterparts, Happiness and Ice Cream Cake, takes a different, more playful approach to the red concept. The bouncy bass and strong vocals, paired with a prominent drum beat, make it a very lively and energetic song to listen to. The lyrics tell the story of losing rationality and acting dumb around someone that you like. However, much like Ice Cream Cake, the music video is littered with many creepy shots that leave the viewer unsettled. The first shot of the entire music video is an enclosed room, and a few shots later, we see the members looking up at the camera as if they are watching us as well. We see the chess pieces that were just carefully arranged on the board begin to float as chaos ensues in the enclosed room. The way that Yuri then looks at the camera, just like a doll turning its head around, enforces a sense of uneasiness. The whole music video revolves around the idea of the members being dolls, like mannequins around their crushes. Yet when the members seem to have some sort of awareness by staring us down through the lens, it seems like it might be a little more than that. The line, could be interpreted as being nervous around the person that you like and often messing up and doing things that you don't want your body to do. However, this also could be interpreted as a person becoming controlled like a doll, a tool for someone to use and direct. This could also be contributing to commentary on the fact that K-pop idols are often heavily controlled and censored by their companies, turning into dolls for them to use for production. Seeing members transform into these dolls, which have to be produced in a certain way and controlled, offsets the romantic lyrics by making the audience deeply uncomfortable. One of These Nights, one of Red Velvet's most underappreciated title tracks, has a sad and melodic melody. The usage of classical instruments really adds to the emotional depth of the song. It has a very smooth, beautiful sound as more of a ballad-type song. Reflecting the more emotional nature of it, the song has been theorized by fans to be a reference to the Sewol ferry tragedy in South Korea. If you are unaware, the Sewol ferry tragedy occurred on April 16, 2014, when the named ferry sank en route to the Incheon airport. Outrage about the story spread very quickly after news of the captain abandoning the ferry and local authorities not responding to the vessel's distress signals became known. Fans began to draw the connection when they noticed that at the very end of the music video, a date is shown on screen, July 7th, which also happens to be the Korean title of the song. In the lunar calendar year during the release, this corresponded to April 14th, the day that the ferry sank. Furthermore, SM Entertainment delayed the release of the music video past its initial promised date, which some theorized to be an allude to the delayed response of the authorities during the sinking of the Sewol tragedy. Yuri, who was 18 and thus the same age of the victims at the time, was the only member to ever face blurred on the album cover, again referencing the incident. Almost all of the members can also be seen trying to escape, whether it's Seulgi walking out of the window, Wendy hiding under the table, or Joy climbing up the stairs. Yet Yuri remains laying on top of a boat in the water, cold and alone. The lyrics right after this scene reflecting the hope that the victims will meet their family again in some way. The members are also often seen surrounding candles, referencing those who are mourning for the victims at candlelight rallies. This song, at first glance, offers a more reflective and emotionally deep look into a love song with emotional imagery that gets at the deeper Velvet side. At further inspection, the more mature side of the Velvet concept allows Red Velvet to provide social commentary and criticism of a tragedy in South Korea through beautifully placed imagery about feeling trapped and lost. Russian Roulette is one of Red Velvet's most notorious red tracks for its iconic styling and, of course, orange-haired Seulgi. It is also one of the most perfect examples of them embodying both sides of the concept with its almost game-like soundtrack and bubblegum pop sound. Like most of their songs, Russian Roulette's lyrics talk about the heart-racing feeling that comes along with starting to like someone. but also has many ominous lines about the crush. If you are unaware, Russian roulette is a famous lethal game where people take turns spinning the chamber of a revolver with one bullet in it and then shooting it at their head. All but one of the chambers are blank, but there is a slight chance that death will occur at the pull of a trigger. Given the lethalness of Russian roulette, this and all the other lyrics seem kind of out of place in what is supposed to be a love song. The imagery of the music video itself only goes to further the idea that something is not as it should be. The entire time, the members are seen trying to kill each other in multiple ways. The reason, as shown by their romantic lyrics, is to eliminate their competition for a lover. While they often are depicted doing things that friends may do, we quickly realize that the girls do not see each other as friends. We can get an understanding of this by observing how they interact with one another. Even while hanging out, they don't have any smiles on their faces. Their interactions with each other are merely a distraction for the true goal of them: murder. The regular deadpan look and staring into the camera furthers that creepy signature style of Red Velvet. While the lyrics may seem like an innocent attraction at first, the darker intentions behind them are not hiding too far from plain sight. Rookie is one of Red Velvet's most controversial tracks sound-wise. Their experimental style that has formed their discography since debut can land them in heat when people think that they go too far outside of what is acceptable in K-pop. This Red track stands out as a quirky electric pop track with a chanting chorus and persistent percussion. The lyrics depict the sensation of falling in love with someone who is a rookie at love and isn't sure exactly what they are doing. But the members encourage their lover as they become more confident. Similar to Dum Dum, the members at the beginning of the video seem to be controlled by some higher authority, the Flower Man, as they can only move once he has begun the scene. In perhaps a feat to get revenge, later in the music video, Irene is seen to be pulling the puppet strings, literally, on the flower guy who had been controlling them earlier. The music video itself has a very unsettling vibe throughout the whole thing. Seulgi gets pulled into a closet where she sees the flower man, and the way that Yuri runs around between scenes reminds me of Alice in Wonderland because of the cutting between entering and exiting at random points. The whole thing feels sort of like a fever dream with the neon trees and skies that surround the members skipping. It feels far from reality, like the members are in some sort of a trance. But overall, all of these elements of strangeness that are shown create that signature sense that something isn't as perfect as it seems, despite the song being a very bright and upbeat Red song. Red Flavor has remained an iconic summer song even from all the way back in 2017 for a good reason. This fruit-themed, feel-good summer song makes the listeners want to get up and dance along with the members about the flavors of summer. Past the warm exterior of the song lays a dark message about the fears of getting older and living in delusion in one's youth. Our first hint that the members are living in delusion about their younger years comes when Irene is shown to be still adorning her childhood outfit. Even as she gets older, she remains stuck in her past. Our second hint comes when Wendy imitates skateboarding while still in her graduation outfit. Like Irene, she remains stuck in her youthful days. Because of the members struggling with leaving their youth behind, they ask the fruits what growing up and ripening was like for them. The music video begins with text at the bottom of the screen reading, "I wasn't that sweet when I was young. As I grew, I became full and ripe," while the members take notes of what it seems like the fruits are saying. We see them multiple times speaking with their fruit counterparts asking for advice about getting older, and Yuri even asks, "Do you know wine well?" to the grape. It remains a little unnerving to see the members stuck in delusions of their past, but this uneasiness gets furthered when Wendy falls down while drinking what looks like fruit juice. Her descent downward is continued by cutting to a shot of her counterpart, a blue-orange, falling. The audience is left wondering what exactly happened, why this seemingly fun party might be more morbid than it looks. While Red Flavor is one of Red Velvet's brightest tracks and in my opinion the furthest toward the red side of the spectrum, its underlying meanings still maintain the nuances of the in-between concept by having darker themes within the music video that are not as bright as the song reflects initially. Peekaboo is an up-tempo dance pop track that is exciting to listen to with its catchy melody, but it is not subtle in communicating its darker messages behind the more exciting sounding song. The story starts with a pizza delivery driver coming to the house of the Red Velvet members. While they accept the pizza from him, they stare creepily at him as the members gather behind Yeri, foreshadowing that something bad might happen to him. The girls consistently wield weapons and even threaten each other with them throughout the music video, as if murder is just a game. Peekaboo also does an excellent job of correlating the song's meaning with choreography. At the start of the pre-chorus, the members rotate their hand in a circle formation in front of their eye while doing an OK sign, making it seem as if they are peering through something to watch. They are carefully orchestrating and watching the pizza boy in order to strike at the best opportunity. The signature creepy staring into camera, and this optical illusion dance also further add to the uneasiness of the song. Later in the music video, they bring the pizza guy onto the cultish circle of candles and eventually begin chasing him around the house. The fun games they played earlier now turn serious. The lyrics, which read, while he runs away from them, now feel menacing. We then get a cut to Yuri shooting an arrow with a crossbow at him as he runs for his life. The last scene depicts the pizza boy desperate to call for help. And although he thinks that he has escaped, one of the members actually got into his vehicle to follow him. Needless to say, the creepiness of this track is quite obvious with its heavy implications of murder. Bad Boy was Red Velvet's first super popular Velvet track. Before its release, Red songs often performed far better than the Velvet ones, but Bad Boy completely changed that trend. Its R&B beat paired with the enchanting vocals of the members has made this one of their most famous songs to date. Bad Boy is also, in my opinion, the first of Red Velvet's music videos to explore sexuality and queerness. A book appears over and over again in the music video, which is titled
Ceci n'est pas de la lèvre,
a reference to
Ceci n'est pas une pipe,
which is depicted in
René Magritte
painting The Treachery of Images. Given that they are not lips, we can infer that they are supposed to instead be a reference to female genitalia. This theory of queerness is supported by the many scenes of the members close together and even almost kissing. They read books together and lay down on a bed, implying that they are exploring their sexuality with one another. While some fans have taken issue with this as queerbaiting, it's also important to consider the condition of South Korea socially. Given that gay marriage is not even legal in the country, pretty much no major company is going to market explicitly queer content because it would lead to major backlash. Exploring sexuality in this more toned-down way allows for queer South Korean and international fans to still get some amount of exposure. In fact, queerbaiting marks a touchstone for greater mainstream recognition of the subordinate status of sexual minorities and women in both representational and real-life contexts. Regardless of the possible queerbaiting of Bad Boy, this song still allows for some greater acceptance in society through mainstream exposure of queerness, which is incredibly important in a country like South Korea that is very conservative. Outside of the queerness explored in the song, it continues the dark theme that Red Velvet is known for, especially from Peekaboo, with ominous stares into the camera and scenes like Seulgi pouring blood over a cake. The members continue to peer into the camera, and the dark outfits with the mysterious vibe of all of the video scenes extend their signature creepy style. With queer undertones, Red Velvet delivers another amazing Velvet track that continues the uneasiness of their dual concept. Another one of Red Velvet's infamous songs, Power Up, sports a summery, bright beat. SM could have easily just made this music video wholesome with just the members dancing and enjoying fruit in the summer. But given that this is Red Velvet, we know that it is not going to be just that simple. Instead, there are a multitude of scenes in where the members panic as the environment around them begins to melt. Yet we come to learn that this melting is not done by accident or natural. Irene actually instigates some of it herself by using an iron. Later in the music video, all of the members except Irene get stuck inside of a TV screen, the same member who was causing some of the destruction that we saw earlier. And in the next scene, she looks up, almost as if she was just watching the members get stuck inside of the screen, and the members appear in a glass that she holds. We could write everything off as just melting in the summer heat, but we know that this isn't true, especially given the eeriness of the scenes with Irene. This purposeful melting supports the theory that Irene could be the mastermind behind everything, as she controlled the Flower Man and Rookie. Power Up's explicitly cute fruit theme doesn't take away from the underlying strangeness of the music video, which keeps the audience questioning the purity of this cute song. SM once again shows how they can transform a summary track into an eerie song through visual symbols. Really Bad Boy, or RBB, exemplifies Red Velvet's dual concept by subverting the expectations of what the sound and visual concepts look like. The song itself sounds a lot more like a Red track with its dance pop and upbeat rhythm, but the visual concept heavily gravitates towards what we would normally consider a Velvet song, as a Halloween and werewolf branded track. It runs the line between the two very clearly, extending the work of its more subtle predecessors. A reference to Bad Boy, RBB describes the panic that comes along with being drawn to a bad boy and knowing that he isn't good for you. When the viewer initially hears about a bad boy, they think about a guy like Han Seo-joon from True Beauty, someone who is a little rough around the edges and perhaps wears some edgy fashion. But Red Velvet takes this to a whole new level by having the bad boy literally be a bad boy. A werewolf. The music video also has many eerie scenes to it, from the dog paintings coming to life to watch Seulgi, to the abandoned graveyard that they dance in, to the scratches that the werewolf leaves on the girl's car. The video also has a reference to the movie The Shining and its famous scene of two twins standing at the end of a hallway, solidifying their group concept being based on having a creepy undertone amid all of these songs that just seem to be about love, regardless of whether they sound more velvet or red.
Zimzalabim, 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 zimzalabim,
Zimzalabim is easily Red Velvet's most idiosyncratic experimental track. Not a single other K-pop group has ever made a title that is an amalgamation of demon names and quite replicates the pure chaos of the song. It is a red electro-pop song with an EDM dance break and more of an R&B slow bridge, and thus by far their most experimental song musically, but also fashion-wise. Red Velvet's outfits reflect the music video's kooky amusement park concept. They wore a lot of repurposed pieces like Wendy's infamous N21 tote bag blouse or Seulgi's Calvin Klein Stefan Sprouse fringe shirt turned skirt. While K-pop groups are normally known for their very purposely planned outfits, the outfits of Zimzalabim reflect the chaos of the song through the recycled fashion and the chaotic neon colors of many of the pieces themselves. The music video visually demonstrates the disorderly nature of the song through the very colorful theme park and roller coaster ride that the girls go on along with us throughout the song. The lyrics too reflect the chorus with lines like, Irene stares intimidatingly at us over the roller coaster ride as it continues around her. Seulgi turns around to look at us in a bright pink room with symbols covering the wall. Similar to Rookie, all of the members seem to be in some sort of a fever dream with the confusing visuals. Maybe they are falling into some sort of love trance, as the next track to follow in the Revev Festival Trinity is a song about falling in love. The classic staring into the camera of the members and the eerie trance-like scenes continue to make the audience uncomfortable and extend Red Velvet's signature theme despite the neon-dominant color palette of Zimzalabim. Following the chaos of Zimzalabim is the upbeat song Umpah Umpah, with disco house rhythms and cooling layered vocals. This happy love song describes the unforgettable feelings that come with you as you fall in love. The underlying meaning that lies in the song is the idea of feeling like you are starting to drown in love. While the title of this track may remind you of Oompa Loompas and seem like nonsense at first, it actually has a meaning. Oompa Oompa is a word used in Korea when children first learn swimming and try to hold their breath underwater. Following this, we can realize that this song, although seeming like a typical love song, is foreshadowing the next song, Psycho, which is about an abusive relationship. The girls relish in falling in love, but they do not quite realize that they are going to literally drown in it. which will eventually cause them to suffocate in toxicity. As we look into the song through this new lens, the lyrics sound a lot more haunting. Contradicting the joyful beat of the song, the members also continue to play games with one another despite the storm that's going on and the leaking ceiling, representing the underlying red flags of a toxic relationship that they are ignoring. Once again, the underlying eerie theme is still reflected in Red Velvet's upbeat tracks, accessing the Velvet side even with the blatant red track.
You got me feeling like a psycho, 우리 보고 말해 자꾸.
The concluding track in the Rev Festival series, Psycho, depicts a relationship which was once based on love transforming into a toxic one. The drowning which was foreshadowed in Oompa Oompa has finally come to light and started to suffocate the girls. Complementing the heavy theme is the Velvet-sounding R&B track with future bass, pop, and trap elements. Visually, the music video is almost gothic with its color palette and outfits. The members adored more heavy, dark-lipped makeups for one of the first times in their careers to really sell the song's concept and its contribution to the overall group concept. The lyrics themselves depict heavy themes. The members are clearly aware that the love they are engaging in is far too suffocating, but they still give in. The line, transformed into during the second chorus, reflecting the members' continuation of this unhealthy relationship. During a different part of the second chorus, the lyrics read, even if this relationship destroys the girls' mentality, they would rather have that than feel sad alone. The video is also filled with chilling imagery to reflect this tragic reality. Joy stares at us from behind a door, Sulgi stares at us while Joy whispers to her, and Irene cuts herself on a sewing machine. All of this contributes to making the audience feel uncomfortable, and when paired with the lyrics and visuals, only serve to further their concept. Given the heavy themes that are addressed in the song, it is not subtle in making the listener feel uneasy. It very strongly reflects the chilling concept which the group undeniably maintains. Queendom, the much anticipated track after Red Velvet took over a year from their previous song to release it, is a dance pop song with bright piano and falls into the red category. The music video tells the story of the members teaching Yeri how to control her magical powers at this post-office scene. While the song remains further towards the red end of the concept spectrum with its cheerful sound, there are still some elements that contribute to the eeriness aspect of it. Like Rookie, this song references Alice in Wonderland, but more explicitly to the viewer. They have a scene where they surround a table drinking tea, and Irene seems to draw the girls in while wearing a mostly white outfit. Given that her representative animal is also a rabbit, it is easy to understand that she is supposed to represent the white rabbit that invites Alice in down the hole. This furthers the idea that Irene is some sort of mastermind in this universe by making the girls follow her into this mysterious place. The constant use of magic also contributes to this theme of being in Wonderland, and the lyrics themselves even read, while this song may not give off as explicitly creepy vibes as some of their other songs, Queendom still accesses the Velvet side by ensuing uneasiness in the viewer through its references to a drugged world, making the viewer question the reality of the magic and joy of the members that we are seeing. Feel My Rhythm is, in my opinion, Red Velvet's most beautiful song, but part of that is because of its music video. The song itself samples from box arrangement Air, and the delicate and elegant string melodies make it one of their best tracks, but it also visually tells a story that anyone can appreciate. It draws on many famous art pieces in order to communicate its message. While I would love to just ramble and even make a video just on the concept and all of the references within this song, that's not what the point of this video is. We are here to focus on how amid all of this beauty, though, there is still the continuation of creepy imagery signature to Red Velvet. Sulgi wears a thorned black crown as she holds a sword with these bird-like creatures dancing around her. But Seulgi more seems to be at a higher point, almost as if the birds are some sort of servant for her as she sits on a throne. But most importantly, Irene offers strawberries to this large overarching being as she looks up in fear. And in the next scene, we see Seulgi eating those exact fruit. So many questions enter the viewer's minds after seeing this. Is this larger creature actually Seulgi? How did she become this being? Why are strawberries being offered to her? Wasn't Irene the one who held power? All of these questions could be attempted to be answered in a separate video, but the important thing that we draw from them is that they all contribute to making us uncomfortable and extending Red Velvet's theme. It feels scary that this member of an innocent-looking K-pop girl group could actually have a member who's some sort of higher being with a power that we don't understand. The reveal makes us question what exactly is happening in this universe, because something is clearly not correct in this world that seemed so beautiful, as depicted by other scenes in the song and its references to art. Feel My Rhythm is ultimately a masterpiece that does a wonderful job of delivering a melodic, elegant track that also accesses the Velvet concept through its unsettling imagery. Birthday as a Red track has a funky beat with a bouncy feel to it. Like many of Red titles, it doesn't necessarily fit into the category of a cute concept, but it still shows the more bright side of the group and thus falls into this distinction. The song boasts lyrics about celebrating your birthday with a special someone and enjoying your time so much that you can't help but smile. Despite this cheery theme, the music video is littered with more menacing imagery. The gingerbread man rejects Red Velvet from entering his birthday party, and the girls embark on a revenge quest. They return back to the building with a plan in mind. While Seulgi may initially seem to get along with this lion early on in the song, we can later see it basically squirming for help while it can't get up in the background of the video. Joy is found to be standing in a pentagram filled with random items, and her members later join her to hold hands on it, as if they are possibly placing a curse on the gingerbread man or using some magic against him for rejecting them. In a different scene, Joy uses her magic powers to manipulate the gingerbread man's staff, reinforcing the fact that the girls are placing some sort of curse with a pentagram. By the end of the music video, the girls have replaced the gingerbread man and they are celebrating with his company of animals on his birthday instead of him. Despite the joyful mood of this song, this story is really about a dark revenge tale of a group of girls ruining the existence of a cookie because they couldn't get into his party. Again, Red Velvet manages to access the Velvet side despite their bright and cheery songs. Chill Kill, much like RBB, subverts expectations by visually at first appearing like a Velvet song, but having the features of a Red one in the track as a synth-pop dance song. It further blurs the lines between the two sides of Red Velvet's concept, which people first assumed to be separate, but are actually interlinked. Because of its visual connection to the Velvet side due to its very dark music video that literally depicts murder, we can quite easily see the balance between the two sides. While the upbeat song plays in the background, we see the members begin to grow apart as they fight, supposedly because of the murder which Wendy committed after she left the safety of the group. The cool dark lighting of the video itself also contributes to the viewers becoming scared while they discover along with the members of the murder. What unsettles the viewers even further is how you can visually begin to see the cracks, literally and figuratively, start to show in this friend group as they panic to clean up the blood and their photo frame shatters. The members then return to burn down the building with the evidence in it, but the sins of the members can be seen through the blood on Irene's wings. Perhaps even more scary is that the panic from earlier has transformed into the members running away together in happiness, and even smiling when they are caught, despite the crimes that they have committed. Red Velvet's latest title track is the epitome of their creepy vibes that are present in both Red and Velvet tracks by having the most unsettling music video by far to watch. While most groups tend to stick with a particular concept in K-pop, Red Velvet has managed to stand out over the years by avoiding that common narrative. Not only do they regularly switch between their more red, upbeat, and energetic songs and their Velvet, slower, more mature style, but many of their songs like Chill Kill and RBB also subvert expectations by using a different song concept visually than musically, but also still managing to tie them together. The underlying creepiness that exists across all songs ties all of them together regardless of the genre of music it falls under or the aesthetic that it sports. And although I only very briefly touched on it, it's also fascinating to observe the way that these non-standard songs allow Red Velvet to imply deeper meanings. But video essay aside, I would like to conclude by thanking you all for watching. This video was my final project in one of my college courses, so I put a lot of love and care into making it. Also, I have been sick during the filming because of seasonal allergies, so I apologize for the congestion in my voice. If you want to see my bibliography for all of the sources referenced in this video, it will be in the description below. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.